On Saturday, President Trump is set to reopen direct talks with Iran. Listen to what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said about that.
When it comes to Iran, the president has reimposed crippling sanctions on the Iranian regime, and he's made it very clear to Iran they have a choice to make. You can strike a deal with the president, you can negotiate, or there will be hell to pay. And as the president said yesterday, if they don't choose to move forward with diplomacy and a deal, which is the direction we do see them headed in, there will be grave consequences.
Grave consequences. Okay. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joining me again here in New York City. Are we on the brink of an attack on Iran? I raised the question because we reported yesterday there are 6 B-2 bombers that have been assembled in Diego Garcia. They carry the bunker-busting bombs that you and I have talked about a lot. Are we getting ready for an attack?
Yeah, I mean, we're absolutely making preparations. I think what the president is very sincere here in trying to get the Iranians to voluntarily dismantle the program. So he's issued them an ultimatum. And what does that really mean? It means the Iranians would have to give up all of their nuclear materials. They'd have to dismantle their facilities that they have, and some of them are 250 feet in the ground with 3 feet walls. And they're also their ballistic missiles as the delivery system. But here's the big catch. We want anywhere, anytime inspections. The Iranians, in their entire history, have never granted that. They let you go to a certain sites, and meanwhile, they have secret sites where they continue their program. It's likely they're not going to put that on the table. We're going to have to insist on it. And then the last thing is by a date certain. So the alternative then, if they don't comply with this, is a strike. So yes, preparations are being made for that. It would likely be an Israeli-led, U.S.-supported strike. The Israelis have great skepticism about the Iranians voluntarily dismantling the program. So does President Trump, but he wants to give it a try. And I think on Saturday we'll start to get a sense of, are they really serious about this? Or are they kind of behaving like Putin is behaving, you know, who's delaying, wants more concessions. The Iranians do want relief from sanctions.
And we've got leverage.
We have
more leverage than we've ever had before.
More leverage in 44 years. Iran is back on their heels. We have an opportunity to finish these guys once and for all for their malign and aggressive behavior and destabilizing the Middle East. That's how far back on their heels they are. We have the leverage.
It's fascinating. All right, next one for you, General. The Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, he sounded the alarm on China's growing military. He called the build-up of their armed forces staggering. Do you think that we in America are a little naive about China's military power?
Well, I think the previous administration tried to pretend that we still had deterrence. I mean, I totally agree with the Secretary General. I was on a commission for 22 months that looked at this. Our conclusion simply when we published our report last year that China, Russia, Iran, North Korea represent the most serious and dangerous threat to the United States since World War II. And obviously the major competitor is China. They outpace us, Stuart, in just about every platform there is except submarines. That's the that's the reality.
Rocketry and missiles.
Yeah, you name it, they outpace us, and we're not even close to being able to catch up.
When you say outpace us, I mean,
they have
their
more
weapons
of them.
Better, or there are more of them?
They have more of them, and they've caught us in quality in just about most of all of it. It is a staggering military buildup. But here's what we have to do, and we can do this: strengthen Taiwan so that they impose costs themselves, and build up the United States military capability with our allies and partners in the region. And use some imagination. The Ukraine war has showed us that Ukraine defeated the Russian Navy in the Black Sea, and they don't have a Navy. How did they do it? They did it with drones and missiles and imagination. Warfare has changed. These big ships are very vulnerable to missiles. Autonomous vehicles above the sea, autonomous vehicles below the sea, not a few hundred of them, thousands of them can make a difference, and we can do that quickly.
But are we behind in that area?
Yes.
At this moment, we are behind.
Oh, yeah,
autonomous
absolutely.
vehicles above and underneath the sea.
Yes, we're absolutely behind. Behind what our capability is.
How long does it take to catch up?
We can do this in a couple of years with those kind of vehicles, about 4 or 5 years for the total program.
Do you think we've got time? Do you think we've got a couple of years?
Well, here's what President Xi has. We have to go along with what he says. He told his forces to be ready to take Taiwan by force in 27. So that doesn't mean he's going to pull the trigger. What Xi really wants, he wants to dominate us so much militarily that Taiwan knows that the United States likely can't win this war, so they would capitulate, and then would the United States come to their assistance? Well, if you're going to recognize that this is going to be a catastrophic event, tank the world economy, and the United States may not win in the long run, does the President of the United States make a decision to support, or does he throw the towel in? That's where President Xi's head is. He wants us to throw the towel in because he dominates us so militarily. We don't have to go platform to platform with him, Stuart. What we do have to have is a capability like we had with the Soviet Union. They outnumbered us in everything also, but we had enough to impose cost and for those military leaders to look at and say, this is in doubt whether we could win or not, so they never came. That's what we have to achieve, and we can achieve that.
Got to spend a lot of money to do it, don't we?
Of course, it's going to cost us some money.
A Reagan-style buildup is what.
Well, I mean, we took our money and prioritized other things under Democratic administrations. We spent trillions on other things. Now we have to do our knitting here a little bit and do some homework and fix what needs to be fixed.
What a pleasure it is to have a military man on the set who knows what he's talking about. It's extraordinary stuff. No wonder you're so popular. Do you know the ratings go up when you're on? They do, too. General, you're all right.
Yeah,
Thank you
good
very much, sir. Appreciate it.